everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Adventure SMP. I'm so excited you're here. So, episode 8 is kind of a special episode. We concluded the first world at the end of episode 7, and we started to head into the next world that we are going to explore. When we finish a world, what I've decided is going to happen is we are going to have an episode where we talk back, where we get to discuss things, go over what happened in the previous world, what we think is going to happen, go over the little intro that I'm going to do for each world, and all that sort of thing, and just kind of have like a discussion talk back episode. If you have like any questions, want to submit any questions, ask anything, things like that, you can go ahead and tweet at us or comment on Instagram or on our Patreon, and just let us know what you think, if you have any questions, if you want to bring up anything. And while it might not happen for like the next talk back, because we do record in advance, it will happen at one of the talk backs most likely. So if you are interested at all, please do that. Otherwise, enjoy the talk back. It was really fun to just like hear what my players were thinking, give a little bit of feedback and discussion, things like that. So I hope you enjoy. And welcome to episode 8 of Adventure SMP. I'm so excited to have you guys here. I am Tay, also known as Seashell Vids. My pronouns are they, them, which I always forget. And with me today are all of our players. Say hi, players.
Hello.
Hi, players.
Ha. Somebody had to do that. We were all thinking it.
It would have been Jamie too. All right, let's do player intros.
Hi, everybody. My name is Eric. I go by Hey Good on all the internet stuff. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing Peebus, who is a human bard, level 2 baby, who is definitely not a villager, which you can tell by their super cool hair that is not a toupee.
Hi, everybody. I am Jamie, who also uses they, them pronouns, who plays, not playing today, because we're not playing today, level 2 Warlock Business Ray. And actually, during this session, I'm going to figure out what my invocations are and torment Tay with them.
Also, I know I've probably asked this before, but is it like first name business, last name Ray, or is it like, were there other Rays and you were like sort of like Rick's from Rick and Morty, like you were business Jamie, you know, and there's like a fly fishing Jamie and like a fly fishing Ray?
Well, you can reskin in Minecraft, right?
So right now, Ray's business skin. Oh my god, I love that.
It's a citadel of Rays.
Today, I'm like, I hope we get to do a Surfer Ray next.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
That's so good. But anyway, we still need Petal's intro.
Yes, hello. I'm Petal. I am new, which is why it took so long for my intro.
It's good to have a recap episode so that we can catch up our new player, Petal.
Yeah, exactly. And my pronouns are they, them, and I play Groki, the Plasmoid Paladin, who is basically a slime hybrid, and their pronouns are also they, them.
Amazing. You guys in the business joke has gone around. Like, the people that do listen to it, I have gotten, like, replies to like tweets and that sort of thing that are just like business. And in my Twitch chat, a couple of people come in and just be like business. It has started going other places.
I play tested an RPG with my buddy on Sunday, and I walked to the door. He's listening. He looked at me. He's like, business. No! And handed me a character sheet.
So. Tell me about Adventure SMP. Oh, you know, business.
Business.
Oh my gosh.
And with your spirit.
Oh, we need to like make a building or a boat or something and call it the Spirit of Business.
Oh my gosh.
Or it's like an airplane that's going to deliver mail around the world. It's the Spirit of Business. That was an airplane joke from The Spirit of St. Louis, famous aircraft.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I didn't, but that's okay. I don't get a lot of
That was for 4
references.
listeners.
Okay. Actually, we have 16 regular listeners.
Oh shit!
right
really?
now. Yeah.
That's
Wow,
so
that joke-
exciting.
According,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, on RSS, it was like, yeah, no, you have 16 followers. And
Damn.
no, do you guys want to know the stats? I'll tell the stats on pod. Like, it's-
Yeah, I
I
actually
was
really do.
Shocked. I was so shocked. Let me open it then. So, analytics. So, total all-time downloads is what they call it. 165.
Damn! On how many episodes? Is it still just the first episode that's up, or is the second one
So,
up too?
no. So, the third episode posted yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
Yep. So the episode 1 got 85 total downloads. Episode 0, so like our intro one, got 40. Episode 2 has 27, and episode 4 has 16.
Wow, so episode 4, the one that just dropped yesterday.
Yes.
16
yep.
people
Or,
listened to it immediately.
Episode 3, but it's kind of
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Wow.
Yesterday we got 16. I know, it's crazy.
That's
It's crazy.
congratulations, Tay. Well, congratulations to all of us,
Congratulations to all of us. It boggles my mind.
Apparently,
No, and
we're
like
funny.
the little thing that like they have like a map downloads by location. There's dots from literally all over the world.
That's so cool. Oh
There's
my
little
goodness.
dots everywhere. It's so cool.
That's awesome. Something that Katie and I started doing, we haven't done it in a while, but after we post a podcast episode, it updates after like 20 minutes. So we started for 20 minutes and we see how many people like listened immediately, like who was like gets notifications posted. And it's a very warm feeling when you're like, wow, like some people like right now are like stoked on something I made. That's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's a fun feeling.
It's so cool. It's so amazing. But let's get into the actual point of the Not just, I mean, we're on topic technically. Because this episode today is last episode we just left the main world and hopped to our first world. And so after each like hop, I want to take an episode to let you guys talk about stuff, your thoughts, your feelings, that sort of thing. If there's anything that you're like, quote unquote, like troubled about, I don't really know how to describe that well. Like just give you guys a chance, like talk on air, about the show and that sort of thing and potential plans or anything that you want to do, things like that, that are honestly fun for the listeners to hear about and that sort of thing, as well as just it gives me a chance to be like, oh, none of them are thinking about this particular thing that I tried to hint at a lot. You know, it gives me a chance for that as well. So I will summarize the first world, and then we can just open floor discussion. So, it started off with you guys joining the world, meeting each other, and deciding to start a business together. You then went and met Jane, learned about the missing people, before you decide to go get some basic resources and head to Town Hall, where everybody seemed to go missing from. In the process there, you broke into the room next door that disturbed the meeting there, before you promptly got kicked out of Town Hall, with the only new information you got was something about a man named Tubbo.
Business.
You headed over to Snowchester, Tubbo's place, where you tried to adopt Michael unsuccessfully, and were told to head northwest before promptly getting kicked out of Snowchester. You started to head northwest, where you found a village, and Peebus got to chat with the villagers there, and get confirmation that you were heading in the right direction, because Rambu and a dinosaur person had passed by. You continued walking and found yourselves at the edge of a mushroom island, and during that night's long rest, Peebus in the distance noticed a grass patch. The next morning, you guys went to the grass to find a salad bowl, a dino egg, and a cake, all built up. You'd looked inside the cake
I'm really sorry. I just want to point out my favorite moment so far, maybe from the whole thing, was when Petal recognized the shit out of that salad with a nat 20. That is a Caesar
sure is-
fucking salad right there. I know it in my bones.
It sure is a salad.
Yep, it's a salad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to know. That was just...
No, that was good. Honestly, it was so good. Because I was like, I feel so bad about this nat 20 being on something that I really wasn't going to have y'all, like, roll for anything. But one of you asked for a roll, and all were just like, yeah, I'll roll too. And I was like, I want to give that nat 20 something.
It was a good
so
salad.
Good. It was a good salad. You guys looked
Sometimes
inside.
all you get is salad.
That's right.
No, true. You guys looked inside the cake to find most of the missing people there and found out that the reason they went missing is because they just got so focused on getting ready for the party that they forgot to message people and lost track of time. You guys then joined the party celebration, playing some games, meeting some people, and just hanging out.
And eating Brokey's goo.
Yeah, eating Grookey's goo.
We ate some goo.
I don't know why you did.
I don't know.
Didn't it poison you guys?
It did
I'm pretty
for a
sure.
second, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all in all, went so well.
Yeah.
You then got some random tidbits from Grian on the salad bowl, as well as a little bit of info on the World Hop, where you went back to Peebus's land, set up a portal, and jumped straight on through. And that's what we did in the first world.
It was a pretty good one. I mean, I enjoyed the first world. I mean, I think
it was a
Peebus
lot
did
of
too.
fun.
It was very fun. Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying not to like think too much. But, like I want to sort of let it happen organically. But why didn't Peebus hop worlds? Like I have some ideas about why he wouldn't know that you could hop worlds. Like I think he was more interested in like hanging out with the villagers and like exploring the land than like setting up shop and doing stuff with other players. But you know, I'm curious as to like what is his reaction going to be to new worlds.
I'm really excited too, because I know we did have like a brief discussion about it one time where it was like, here's some random thoughts we can play with, but like just like hearing like that conversation was a lot, and I'm really excited to see what Peebus does in, honestly, especially in this next world that y'all are going to.
Yeah,
this is gonna be
because I don't know what it's gonna be. Like that's is you know, is it gonna be like when you join a brand new Minecraft world and it's just like, okay, it's a Minecraft, you know, like I'm in the woods probably, you know, it just kind of looks, or is it gonna be like a developed world where there's like a bunch of shit everywhere? Like
yeah.
Eric doesn't know that, so obviously neither does Beavis.
Yeah,
and so
I will give the reminder that so I did give a little brief description of the world, which I don't remember the exact words. I wrote down most of them. But you guys essentially ended, the very last thing I said in the episode was y'all appeared in like this wide open room, and then like almost immediately other people started popping up, and it ended with like an evil laugh. So y'all are like in the midst of like a crowd of people.
That's right. So far Peebus is he's pretty he doesn't know how he feels about this whole world hopping thing. You know, like what was wrong with the other world? We just jumped through a friggin' weird portal, and now I'm in a room with a bunch of people popping up, and someone's laughing, and like, who needs it? You know, I'm just gonna stay in my hometown with my villager friends.
Y'all also never went, like, y'all had that whole Grokedex of people with, like, rewards in the bottom, and y'all went, no.
Well, that's right. We never really did.
Never did.
Well, finding the people was reward enough, and we got to enjoy a cool party. What more reward could we need?
I mean,
Money.
3 God apples is pretty good.
We can collect the rewards later, and, you know, maybe with interest. Business.
That's right. It was all business.
See, what helps me is that I don't even know what a god apple is, so I've got no idea what I'm missing out on by not collecting that reward.
A god apple, also known as a notch apple, is... I've actually never eaten a notch apple like in Minecraft before, because I usually like start a new world before I get far enough to have one, you know? But they... What? So they grant you a bunch of temporary HP, right?
Yeah, so you get temporary HP, you get, not restoration. That's the only word that's in my head right now, is restoration. It has nothing to do with Minecraft. What is it?
It's one of the effects. You can get it with like a beacon.
Regen.
Regen, that's what it is.
I think it's regen.
That's right. I'm gonna look up. I should know this. I'm supposed to be the Minecraft
I'm
guy
also
here.
fully looking it up right
I totally
now.
am too. I was like, how do I not know this?
Yeah, so you can't craft it anymore, though. It used to be craftable, and now
Yeah.
you can only find it.
Yeah.
I actually had one in Questcraft Season 1, and I was like, no, I'm going to save it, and then never ate it.
Well, it is. Well, it's. I don't know if it's like a finite thing. Like, I think one of the only finite items in Minecraft, where like in a given Minecraft world, there is a number of them, and that's it. Is Heart of the Sea can only be looted from shipwrecks, and I think notch apples are another one where.
Yeah, they are, because you can get them from a chest in a dungeon, mineshaft, ancient city, bastion, desert temple, ruined portal, woodland mansion, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the chances for it is, the highest one is ancient city with 8.4%, but most of them are like 1 to 2%
Yeah.
chance. Like, it's so low. But they grant, regeneration level 2 for 30 seconds, which heals your health every so many ticks. Absorption, which gives you, that's the bonus hearts.
Yeah.
Fire resistance, and just overall resistance.
I didn't know it was fire resistance. That's cool.
Yeah, because I've seen it used before. I don't remember what I was watching, but I was watching someone, and they fell into lava in the Nether. And they had just been looting. They didn't have fire potions yet because they were like going to like do piglin trading. And they fell into the lava and they ate an enchanted golden apple because they didn't have anything else. And they were like, I don't want to die.
Oh, that's a waste of a notch apple. But
It really was.
But you gotta do what you gotta do. Also, clarification, Notch is the name of the person who originally created Minecraft. And so he's like the god of Minecraft, hence Notch Apple.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, there you go.
Also why it's called a god apple.
Indeed. I'm also curious of how like Peebus's conversations with villagers are going to go, you know, because I mean, and by that, I mean how I, Eric, am going to like do them. Because I could just go, you know, like, and that would be, and then afterwards say like, this is what we said.
Yeah.
Or it could be like a, you know, translation real time, or maybe like it'd be like a pigeon situation where like certain words can't be translated from villager into English, you know? So it's like a pigeon language type thing. I don't know.
I think it would depend on what information you're trying to get. Because, like, the first one was, like, just, like, essentially, are we going in the right direction?
Right.
So you did the,
We could, that was
you
really
did
good.
that on recording, and then I messaged you, and I was like, here's what you heard. And it was, like, 2 sentences.
we can also do it where, like, it's you and me going back and forth, and we just have to, or I guess Peebus just has to try to figure out what you meant by, like, it's just like a, like, contact improv,
so
but with gibberish.
Funny. That would be so funny.
That'd be pretty funny. I think so.
Me just like noting that down as a potential scene idea. That's really good.
Hey, well, you know, I do what I do. I'm also curious, Groki, what do you think Groki's like, or what not like you have it planned or whatever, but like, what do you think Groki's sort of like arc is going to be? I know Groki doesn't like water.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I've got a backstory for Groki that's pretty deep that I obviously can't go into right now because that's spoilers for the future. But a lot of the stuff for Groki, I'm just like coming up with on the spot, like not liking water and stuff like that. I'm basically just spending a lot of time whenever I approach a situation. I'm like, what would be different about the situation if like me as a person, Petal, approached this, but I was made out of goo? What would be concerning? How differently would my body react? And that's like what I've been going off a lot, like at least while I'm in the beginning stages, because I often find that like when I play a D&D character, I start out like I'll create an elaborate backstory. I always do that right off the bat. Like my brain lives for character stuff. And so I always dive deep into character stuff. And then I have this idea of how I think they'll be, but I don't actually know how they'll be until I play them. So I spend the first while just kind of like figure out how they act, how they react to stuff. How do I like pull things from their backstory, like forward into the character and how they're interacting with the world right now. And it will be interesting to see what Groki's arc will be, because there's a lot of stuff in the backstory, but I don't know how much of that is just like gonna be like fun trivia stuff and how much of that is gonna be like relevant to the story. I guess that a lot of that will come based on how things go for Groki as we go throughout the podcast, as well as how Tay brings up these backstory elements if they are to play into the plot.
Oh, they so are.
Incredible. That's what I want to hear.
Plans. I have plans for all y'all's backstory stuff that you have given me. Like, there's plans. There's plans. I'm so excited.
I'm wondering if any weird, strange properties of the goo is gonna happen. Like, we're gonna find out that it's like Boo from Dragon Ball Z, where it can like absorb people's strength or something. Maybe it's flammable. I don't know.
I know that there's certain like plasmoid skills that I haven't really had the chance to pull out yet. That will be interesting. See, I'm sure you'll notice this as we play, and I'm sure listeners, you'll definitely notice this as we play. I am like, one of my top skills, or lack thereof, in D&D is having some really cool ability or item and then completely forgetting to use it. So that's something that I am working on, because I know it can be frustrating for people, and they're like, you have this cool thing that could really help out right now, and I just like, la da 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 da, like, oh yeah, I forgot that existed. And so yeah, I'm sure there's some stuff that I have already like completely forgotten that Groki can do. I'll have to go over my character sheet again before the next episode to make sure I'm keeping everything in my brain.
Nice. I was wondering, does Business Ray have any like capitalist ventures in their noggin, for this new world? Are they going to try to like plain view it, or where's Ray's mind at?
I think Ray is approaching it the way I have in my head right now, because we also haven't got to anything with Ray's warlock patron yet.
Yeah.
No one else knows anything about what's going on with the Great Old One patron yet.
You don't know what's going on with the Great Old One patron yet.
We're pretending.
I mean, doesn't nobody know what's going on with the Great Old Ones? That's what makes them Great Old Ones. It's just like...
I know.
Yeah, Ray is, I think, approaching... what I'm kind of drawing on is like a 5 to 8 year old has just logged on their big siblings Minecraft on computer. And he's like, I'm gonna be a business guy.
That's such an interesting concept that I haven't thought about, but it totally explains how you've been playing Business Ray.
Yeah, that is something that's interesting to think of. I know I haven't given too much thought to it yet, but the fact that, like, canonically in this world, our characters are being played by somebody else sitting at a computer and playing Minecraft. And that's gonna give me some stuff to think about. I guess I should think about, like, when I was talking about things about, like, me loving all things to do with character, this is like double character stuff, because I get to play a character that's being played through somebody else, and I need to figure out who that puppet is. And it's like 3 layers of playing, because it's me playing somebody who's playing somebody else.
I had not thought about that. Yeah. Weird.
Well, see, I'm still playing it like Ray has a full head of memories and stuff that he thinks is... Because he's always been this computer guy. So Ray doesn't know he's being played.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like,
I pulled a lot from a Reboot, an old Canadian cartoon from the 90s. It takes place inside a computer mainframe in a city called Mainframe. And all the sprites run around and they have to play games and win and stuff. And
there's an old cartoon that I watched growing up called Cyber Chase that I have pulled a handful of elements from as well.
Any of those kinds of ones have a whole bunch in them. Even Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, which is like Ultraman, but they do it in a computer.
So I do want to know, like, how did you guys... I'm trying to think of how to ask this, because I don't... But I want to talk more about specifically World 1, and just, like, based off what happened there, what are your, like, thoughts and expectations and things like that for, like, the upcoming world and worlds? Like, where are you at with the campaign, I guess, is a way to ask it. You know, like with what we've had, what do you see? What do you think? You know?
You mean like, what do I, Eric, or like, what does Peebus think?
No, you, Eric.
Oh. Not.
I mean, it could also be Peebus too, but just like, I wanna know kind of where you guys are at as players with it, and like what you meta think about it and that sort of thing, and then potentially too, if you want to, like where your characters are at with it.
Yeah, well, I think based on the information that you've given us and the conversations that you and I have had about my understanding of things so far is that this is basically like a home base kind of tutorial world. And I feel like from what you've talked about, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that each world that we hop to will have more of a like individual plot and like mysteries to solve and more of an adventure going on. So I feel like a lot of this first arc has just been like figuring out how like the Minecraft mechanics work and things like that, and like learning about like the world of Minecraft as a whole, especially for me who has barely played Minecraft. And yeah, and then I think in terms of Groki's interactions with it, Groki is one of the few things that I do know about the player playing Groki is that whoever they are new to Minecraft, just as I am. And so it's kind of also them figuring out how to play Minecraft and how to play a character and how to like interact with other people. I think that's one of the reasons why I had Groki be so concerned about us getting kicked out of so many places. Or like, oh my goodness, we've clearly annoyed like these actual real people who are playing these characters and are ruining their stuff. And then I reflected that in Groki, of just Groki being like, oh no, we got kicked out of another place.
2 places in 2 days.
That's right. Well, that's so interesting. Petal, do you consider yourself, like you, Petal, are you playing the person on the computer who's controlling Groki, like mainly, or is that like a secondary, but like what is primarily, who do you consider yourself to be playing? Because I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah, primarily I feel like I'm playing Groki, but I'm playing Groki with the knowledge that this is not, like, Groki exists in this world with all of, like, their thoughts and memories and experiences and all of these things. Like, that is, like, Groki is the core character, but it's also through the lens of, like, if you take a step back and get extra meta in all of this, Groki is just like a block of pixels and is being controlled by somebody else. And so it's kind of, I think it's colored the way I interact with NPCs more than it is colored the way that I play Groki, because it's like, oh, these are being controlled by actual people. All of these buildings in the world only exist because other people spend a lot of time and effort building them. And like all of the ways that these rules have functions are ways that this community has like learned to function. And so that makes me like extra aware of how I like interact with the NPCs, whereas in other things I might be like a bit more chaotic and a bit more pushy at times. Like it just kind of like added that extra thing, because like I'm always very aware when I enter internet spaces that I don't want to be that sort of like troll annoying person who messes up everybody's hard work. And I think that's predominantly how that's played into my playing of Groki.
I love that, especially because I am going from the aspect that Business Ray and the person playing them pretty much doesn't know this is a multiplayer game.
No, I guess you wouldn't as a 5-year-old.
Thinks they're all sprites.
I think that's especially interesting, like, to have you, like, have brought that up, Petal, because, like, in that instance, like, Business Ray is being played by someone who's like, no, this is my world, there's no other. Groki is being played by someone who's, like, aware that there are other people, and Peebus is not fully aware that it's a game, as far as, like, our conversation has gone, is my understanding of Peebus is, like, advanced villager.
Yeah.
So fully would not think there's anyone behind.
Ray doesn't think it's a game. Ray thinks this is just the world and how the world is, but
Yeah.
That's just the interactions with people got through the filter of a player who's like, "It's my game. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna do this now."
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, Peebus, I am really curious to see what, I don't know, like just the existential shit that is ahead of Peebus, you know? Because, like, I don't, at least in my head right now, I don't think Peebus is just code, you know? I mean, maybe he is, but like, I don't, like, I think Peebus genuinely does have like wants and stuff. So like, if he is just code, then he's like a villager came online one day and like gained self-awareness or something like that. But I don't know, like, but maybe it was like a developer themselves. I also have thought about this, but I'm pretending like I haven't so that I don't spoil anything. Like maybe like a developer or something like put in some weird code at one point, you know, just messing around, and it ended up being like a bug, sort of like, you know, Agent Smith in the Matrix or something.
Ooh.
You know, like code that was just supposed to serve a function, but then all of a sudden gained wants and desires and stuff, and doesn't really distinguish between itself and player and like actual player characters. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see how that all sort of comes out, especially now that we're switching worlds. You know, like maybe Peebus's code like wasn't meant to change worlds. You know, maybe the reason Peebus is Peebus is because of the world that he's in, and the reason he's never switched worlds is because his code was only meant to exist in that world, but then players intervened, and now they've effectively like brought a villager from one world to another, and it's like, what the fuck, you know, like, Jesus Christ, this isn't supposed to be. But yeah, no, I'm curious to see how it all plays out.
I'm so excited because like I really like as a DM, one of my favorite things is to play with characters' backstories and like abilities and stuff, and let y'all like use them to your advantage, which is why like Groki's AC, like by the end of it in that last world was what, like 21?
It was
Yeah.
20,
Like
20 on the
like,
dot.
Yeah, like I want to give y'all as much opportunity to be like, nah, I'm a cool player. Look at this amazing character I created. And so like I have worlds that I have created for y'all to go to at random. Like I have the list of worlds I want y'all to go to, and then it's the die roll, obviously, when you jump worlds is what determines the next world y'all go to. So I have the basics of each one determined, and then like once the die's been rolled, I then go, okay, so we're gonna just focus on this one now and think about what exactly is all of this here, which is why I want these episodes, so that gives me a little bit more time. But no, I have like each one, there's 3, like one geared for each of you, and then the rest of them I'm like, okay, here's how I can pull in this here, here's how I can pull in this part of this backstory and this character stuff, and I love it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is your first DM experience, right?
Kinda. First long form.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say
I've
first
done
campaign.
Yeah, I've
Campaign,
done
gotcha.
I've done
I played in a
lot
one-shot
of
with
one
you.
shots. Yeah, I've done a lot of one shots, and then I've done like a couple that were like ended up being like 2 or 3 like mini sessions sort of thing. But this is the longest, and I'm very excited.
You bit off a bunch of a lot. Like, this is a big like the idea of multiple worlds and dimensions and mixing Minecraft mechanics with D&D mechanics, and you don't and also that it's like, I don't know exactly how you're doing it, but I imagine it's somewhat random, like which universes we're going to with the die rolls and stuff, and like having to work that into a narrative. I mean, holy bajikas, pow, that is incredible.
Yeah, no, what I did was first thing I did, at first I was going to have it be a D100 roll, and I was going to try and come up with 100 concepts, and then we would ultimately go to 20 of them. And I was like, what if I didn't do that much to myself?
Yeah.
So I narrowed it down to, I then like got down to like 30, and then I was like, okay, what out of these 30, which ones can I come up with distinct basic concepts? Of like being like, so this world, what is the problem that I could foresee them facing here? And like some of them are like actual like SMPs that are like out there. Like I don't know if I've said it before, like on recording or something, but like one of them is like Questcraft Season 1.
Yeah.
Because I really like that world. One of them is like my personal SMP server, Malnero. And then there's like I've hinted at it enough. I'll just say it. It's fine. There's Dream SMP. That's one of them.
Jesus.
That I'm taking a specific moment in time to insert you guys into it at, and I have a general, so like I went through like my list of 30 and I went, okay, so looking at this one, like Dream SMP, what is the potential, like what would the plot be there if we went there? Not just like, here, I want to go to this popular thing, but like, what would be the plot if there, the basic plot that I can think of now? And so I went through and I came up with like, here's the problem. Here's this, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. And then I did that for all 30. And then from there I went, well, these two have roughly the same problem. So I only need one of them. Which one do I know better?
That's cool.
And so then I narrowed it down to 20 from there. And there's two of them that I don't care if y'all roll the dice for it. Like earlier, it's like I've put it as it has to be at least the like 11th world that we go to. So if you guys get it before, I'll just be like, you're gonna reroll actually. because like some of it too was like, because I have like the overarching meta plot roughly figured out. Like I have the concept and that sort of thing, and I have like some ideas on like how it can be resolved or like solved, whatever. And there's a couple of the worlds too I chose because I was like, no, this is a really good way to tie in the meta plot and give you guys like this big, like essentially lore dump. And I was like, I don't want that to be like if you guys were to roll that like for the first one, I don't want y'all to go in as like little baby level 2s and like, hey, here's this like problem that I have planned for you to be able to actually deal with and like handle and that sort of thing at like level 20. Take it at level 2 now.
Yeah.
Learn all about it like that. I was like, no. So
yeah, there's a server. I can't remember what it's specifically called, but it's like it's a pure anarchy server, which, for the folks who may not know, an anarchy server is where there are no community rules. Like there's literally, so like on Questcraft, there are quite extensive rules on how players can interact with each other and treat each other to make it so that people don't like murder each other in real life or whatever. An anarchy server there's none of that. You can literally do anything. You can destroy other people's builds. You can grief, whatever. And there's one server where it's an anarchy server, but if you die in the server, you're banned for like a month. So you can only try every once in a while. But it's just like a brutal world where like spawn is just meant to kill you. Like it is, they've made it so that as soon as you spawn in, you're probably about to die. Like you have to. In fact, somebody, the last I heard of it, somebody had built a flying machine in the anarchy server that builds a wall of water 20 feet deep or 20 blocks deep and like 200 blocks high, and it just flew around spawn. So now spawn there's a 20 block deep, 100 and whatever foot block high wall of water. Anyways, so I'm curious to see if that ever happens to the characters, where we get thrown into a world that is just like, holy shit, what, basically like a post-apocalyptic world where it's just like, our goal is to get the fuck out of here as soon as possible. Like, I'm curious if that's going to happen. And also I'm curious because we've got sort of like a multiverse of madness kind of situation going on where we're a team of universe hoppers, but we don't know how extensively and how adeptly other entities, be them NPCs or player characters, are also hopping worlds and what their motivations are. Maybe there could be like an Ultron with the Infinity Stones from What If, which, sorry, that if I don't know how many people actually watch that show, but we're like
spoilers.
Sorry. Like it came out like a year and a half ago.
No, that's fair.
I haven't seen that episode actually.
Neither have I, but it's fine.
Well, is there going to be somebody like trying to conquer all of the world, like that we're not aware of? Like what? I don't know. Just like, now we're not just dealing with problems in one world. We're dealing with problems in multiple worlds, and that might involve, somebody who wants to collect them all for themselves. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to like DM for you or anything like that. Those are my curiosities.
I've been thinking things like that too, because I mentioned Reboot. In the last season of Reboot, it's all about this virus, Damon, that is taking over the entire internet. And they are one of the last bastions and have to... Because, yeah, it's an opportunity for all kinds of multi-layered stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I just think it's really interesting because, like, I hadn't thought of it that specific way. I have thought about these things, but I hadn't thought of it in that specific way. Like, the words you said triggered... Like, there's a lot of, like, when I was first getting into D&D, like, a year and a half ago... No, 2 years ago? I don't know how numbers work. When Unprepared Casters started, so however old that is, that's when
Almost
I got
2
into
years,
D&D.
yeah.
That's literally was my first introduction to D&D.
And then you got me back into playing it because I was just listening. Got me into listening probably about 3 months later, you got me playing.
Yeah, but so here's the thing with it, right, is one thing that, like, even, like, Haley and Gus have talked about is, like, just the concept of, like, there's different, like, layers of problems that different levels of characters are supposed to deal with. Like, you don't tell a level 1 character, well, now you're gonna protect the universe, okay? Like, you got this? Like, that's, like, not something that, like, is typically put on, like, a level 1 character, but I essentially did that to y'all as I went, here. This entire Minecraft world, you're level 1, okay, could deal with this problem. Like, I think one comparison I was told once or saw once was essentially, like, level, like, 1 and 2 can do a good job protecting, like, a town. Or, like, a slightly extended town. You know, level 5 can do, like, a, like, region. And that's not exactly what it was, but just, like, conceptually, like, once you get closer to level 10, like, you can handle, like, a nation or two. You know, like, level 20 can handle, like, the multiverse. Like, that sort of thing. And I went, baby level 1s. Want the multiverse?
The multiverse is our playground now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You just set a 5-year-old loose on the multiverse. I hope you realize that.
Here's the thing: is I don't think
And
they're
there's
always
an
going to be
episode title.
I don't think they're always going to be a 5-year-old at the keyboard because I think the siblings are going to come back.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
That's interesting.
But Ray knows none of that. It's all just Ray. Ray's just being Ray.
Yeah, right? What a mind fuck for Ray. Like, you know, like,
that's just how life is, yo. He's just doing his thing. Da, da, da.
Sometimes you're very self-centered, and then 10 seconds later you're like, hey, how about we work as a group? Like, what's best for the group?
yeah, another thing going forward, I think, as we all get like more used to, because all these mechanics for like mining and stuff, like you made up, like nobody's done these before. Which is awesome.
Crazy.
But like, as we all get used to how certain mechanics work and we get better at sort of swiftly going like, I don't know, like I'm going to go mine for schmaggity schmuck or something.
I've read the mining tables. We can do that at any point.
We can, yes.
I read the mining tables and looked at the math. That is what Jamies do.
It's always good to have a Jamie around.
I struggle so much. I like tried to like reformat the mining tables a little bit to make it easier because I posted the mining table on Patreon when episode 2 came out. Because I was like, I want people to be able to have access to the mechanics we're using to be able to like look at it and be like, oh, okay, I understand what's happening. And so I like tried to like make it nicer. I tried to like make it easier and I did not work. But I tried. That's what matters there.
Hey, well, you know, ChatGPT has come out since we started this campaign. I bet we could just ask ChatGPT to write a program that allows us...
I'm sorry, what? What is that?
ChatGPT? Jamie Petal, are you familiar with what ChatGPT is?
No.
Oh, man. I'll be brief. But basically, ChatGPT is a new AI that anybody can use. You can just look it up, Google it right now, unless you're driving, dear listener. But it's basically the current best, like, language AI bot. So basically, you can ask this thing to write you a story about a hamster and a snake that's ironic and funny and whatever, and it'll just write you a whole story. You can also be like, hey, I need a rental housing agreement between these two people, and it will just write it for you. And so it's kind of a terrifying development, but it can also write code. So you can just tell it in plain English, hey, write me a code that has this data in it, and I want to be able to click a big button that's, whatever. Anyways, it's a big genius. It's the closest thing we have to like Jarvis, basically.
Oh, cool.
And anyways, side note, we could maybe use it to make like a mining table thing rather than learning how to code, because robot overlords are just inching towards us every second.
No, that's fair. I'm going to look into that. I know I meant to reach out to Diggs because Diggs is a wizard with spreadsheets.
That's right, yeah.
And I just keep forgetting.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for that tangent.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how that's going to be on my gravestone. But,
sorry for the tangent.
Sorry for the tangent. In parentheses, not really. But just how, as we get better at working with like the Minecraft mechanics, what like the balance between solving problems with D&D mechanics and solving problems with Minecraft mechanics will end up being. I'm curious to see how that sort of shakes out, I suppose.
Yeah. I also need to just I need to play more Minecraft in general, because I have not played anything new since, I forget the last time I updated about, like maybe episode 2 or whatever, whenever I last talked about playing Minecraft. I have not played Minecraft since then, and so I do really need to just like sit down and learn how to play Minecraft one of these days.
I started playing a game called Deep Rock Galactic, though, which is described as Minecraft meets Starship Troopers.
Cool.
You don't actually build things with the rock you mine, but you can just make your own, and there's just bugs everywhere.
Nice.
What I was going to say is, with the whole world things, I'd like to touch back on that for a minute, just from the D&D standpoint. Because you were saying that you almost made a list of like 100 of them to randomly roll on when we get there, and I am so glad you didn't, because that is one of the things with random tables, is they're great when you're going to use them ahead of time so you have time to work on it, because otherwise you have to work on everything on that table. Mm-hmm. So I like how you worked things out and got it down to a list where whichever one rolls on, you already have a basic plot lined up. You're like, okay, grab that, no, here we go, ready to go, let's go. Because random tables are great, but if you're going to use them to like build a campaign and adventure on, you really have to do it before session, not during session. And a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, the way that I tried to set up, like, is specifically recording too, is these particular episodes. Like, today we're just recording this episode. But if we had, like, a day where we were planning to record 2 episodes, and, like, we just happened to finish a world and world hop before I was expecting, it could be 1 episode, and then this episode could be the next one. Like, I kind of planned for that, and the way that I did that was I have the worlds, and then I actually have little like short paragraph descriptions for like what happens when you go through the portal, because I really liked doing that last episode, and conceptually just kind of being like, hey, here's a teaser for the next thing, cliffhangers. Yeah. And so I have that little thing written up, and that's what I have, like a little 1 paragraph that's like, here's basic concept, and then 1 paragraph of, you enter this world and you see this and this happen, and that's it. That's all I have for them. It's a 5-page Google Doc with 20 worlds in it, and that's what's there.
Yeah, it's like you have the little paragraph description for us, so as soon as we get into it, we start being able to build, okay, what's going to go on here. Mm-hmm. And I like that we're doing like a short arc or long format thing. Like, it's kind of a neat mix of the two, because it is long format, but at the same time, we kind of just did a 7-episode short format arc, and we're moving on to another one.
Yeah, like, I like the concept that they're all gonna connect, because there's, like, the meta plot, but then having little, like, bite-sized stories where it's like, I gotta take a break, like, I need to not, I'm busy, like, this week, so, like, I'm gonna finish this arc, and then take a pause and then come back to it. I think, like, that's the sort of thing that I really like. Like, Unprepared Caster, so much inspiration from there, because I love it so much. And just, like, their arcs, I really like that, and then how it's all connected. But I was like, what if big campaign?
Yeah.
I'm on a D&D server that's kind of been doing that on the ground up for almost a year now. And they're on the like arc 5 or 6 of building the world, and there's been one shots, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a fun way to build a world, bit by bit, throwing it all together.
Why are you trying to eat your mic?
I don't know.
Put some ketchup on it first.
No, there's already
Ew,
ketchup
not
on it. It's on the
ketchup.
other side.
Oy.
All
Is
sorts of
there really-
condiments, yeah.
Is there
No, there's
okay,
not.
I know
There's
that's
not
tricky.
actually.
Okay. No, so when you first said no, there's already ketchup on the other side. I was like, were you doing something and then got distracted and then like suddenly there was ketchup and then you kept going and I was like, no, that means there's not ketchup.
That's right, yeah. Well, the function of the ketchup would be so that I can know where I am in proximity to the mic based on smell, you know? So like if I'm ever not looking, I can just know how close I am to the mic because I can smell the ketchup.
But like,
This is the
it's the
dumbest
fact-
thing I've ever said in my entire life.
except it's not. Except it's not.
It's not even close.
It's not, like that's actually like having something on your mic. Like if you're like trying to like be silly, goofy, and just like not look like. I've had staring contests on call before where I just like went like this and then just like slowly tried to, and I fully have like gone past the mic before or like hit the mic with my cheek. It's not a bad idea.
Just saying. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
Maybe not ketchup, but like something that smells so that as you get closer, you can notice it more. Like that's,
Clove
if
oil.
someone has a really good sense of smell.
Yeah.
I do not. It would not be helpful for me. I've got a terrible sense of smell.
We're doing a thing with Bailey where Bailey, who is my dog, where we're basically training her to find Katie's keys. And so we've been training her to locate the smell of clove oil by like, we have a little thing that smells like clove oil. And first we like put a treat on it and we'll say like, find it. And then she'll go and she'll smell around and then she'll find it and then she gets the treat. And then we like took the treat off and now she'll find it and then we'll give her the treat. And so now we've put on a clove smelling thing onto Katie's keys so that when we say find it, she finds the keys. And it's pretty sweet.
That's really cool. I love that.
It's pretty cool. It's really fun watching Bailey like go on a mission. Because like what's most impressive to me is how much she understands what find it means. You know, like she gets what we're asking her to do. And so you can just hear her go like she like skulks about the house. It's
That's
like-
so funny.
like-
I love it.
I always hear like the Mission Impossible music playing in my head.
That's so funny. I love that.
Sorry, I've thoroughly derailed the podcast. I apologize.
So like that's on brand, so
That's true.
it's fine.
That's true.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's my function.
We could go back to podcast stuff and what invocations I took, and therefore what spells I can now cast at will.
Oh God. Okay.
What we did talk about reskinning the beginning of the episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I did go with what is it actually called, Mask of Many Faces, which is disguise self at will.
Ooh.
So infinite reskins a day.
That's pretty
Well,
cool.
okay. So before you solidify that is already a mechanic you can do to an extent.
Yes, but with disguise self, I can change my face and look like other players and
Okay.
like zombies and like everything like right now without having to put any effort into it.
Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say I did make. You may change your appearance. You may change your appearance like a changeling whenever you want, but it'll cost you 1 level of Minecraft enchanting, a minute of time, and anyone who has met you before still knows it's you. So yeah, so that's helps with that.
That's enough. That's enough things different than that, and
Okay.
the cost even that. No, still sticking with that.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you knew.
Yeah, that's not just like going on vacation for a bit.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that like
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, no, because we haven't. I think you might have mentioned that once, but yeah, I did not remember. And
Yeah,
then
no,
I
that was
took
like pre-session, pre-recording stuff.
pre-session 1 stuff. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, like years ago.
It was not years ago. It was a few months.
Yeah, it's like years.
Months,
and then-
years, same thing.
And then I also took Misty Vision, so I also have Silent Image at will.
Which one's Silent Image? What does that do?
It's an illusion. It can't
How
make
big
noise.
is it?
How big is the silent image? Let me.
You know what? While you're doing that, one of my favorite things that y'all did.
No larger than a 15-foot cube.
Okay. One of my favorite things that y'all did, I have to say, was when during the hide and seek game episode, I think it was episode 7, when Groki went into a different form or business, or I don't remember who went in, but Peebus just went, "Hi, I'm here. I'm pretending to be this person."
Oh yeah, no, I disguised myself as Groki.
Groki,
so that when I
yeah.
was
So then
found-
Groki was hiding.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
that's
made
some of my
myself.
favorite.
I reshaped myself to look like one of the things that were around.
Yeah. Nah, that was like my favorite thing. Because it was like such a silly, goofy moment. And it was like, no. I'm going to use like some of my resources to make this. Groki's going to win this. And it should have been Business Ray.
Yeah, you did. You did. How? I don't know who told it, because I mean, my argument was like, if I looked like Groki and then I get found, then I don't remember who was searching for us. Was it Grian?
I don't remember who was searching for. I think Grian.
I don't
Grian might
remember.
have been. I don't remember who was searching for you. But whoever saw Groki, aka Peebus as Groki, and went, okay, I'm looking for Peebus and Business Ray.
Right.
And so wasn't looking for a goo that can reshape themselves. And I was like, if you're not looking for something that can reshape itself, like you're going to look at that and be like, it's just a weirdly colored thing here.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to be like, that's a person, because you already found the person that can do that.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
You're
So
Yeah.
I was like, the role doesn't matter anymore, because if you're not looking for it, you're going to look at that and just be like, here's this other excuse for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Groki, this looks like you could probably turn yourself into something like this if you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's Peebus?
Right.
Okay, we are getting close to time. Is there anything else that anybody wants to bring up or discuss? Why the grumpy face?
Well, that's my thinking face.
It looks like a grumpy face. Like you're grumpy.
I also broke my last pair of glasses, so I have to be. If I wear headphones, the one will hold them there. But if not,
That's funny.
so I can't quite do my entire thinking face shtick because I don't have the.
The wiggle.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice they were broken until you pointed that out.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Oh my god, I need to get new glasses.
Yeah, me too. Zulul.com. Use promo code HeyGood for 10% off your order. Sorry.
Oh, my problem is I have to get an eye appointment first to know what prescription I need.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
No,
But
I don't know.
I might hit you up about that later on.
No, I'm
Okay.
really curious to see. I don't know, just what the whole world hopping thing does for like to us as characters, like how they all deal with it. And it didn't even occur to me because Peebus is Peebus. That like, yeah, y'all are playing players, like, and that's just weird. Like, wow.
It's so bizarre. I didn't think of it either.
I'm gonna have to put more thought into what the person playing Groki is like.
Oh no, I broke everything. It's one of my random down the rabbit hole thoughts. That's how it generally tends to go, though. Oh, God, I just threw my phone.
Well, don't throw it.
It has a
Yeah.
case
It knows how
now
to
because I got a
fly.
new one. Because my other one got broke because it didn't have a case.
Still don't
Ooh.
throw your phone.
Yeah, I know. It's still, I think the point still stands that don't throw it, regardless, because I don't think it can fly.
No. It was
So,
close
like-
to the ground, though. There wasn't a lot of thing. I do have a
No,
neat
that's
sticker,
fair.
though. It's a T-Rex wearing a Sailor Moon outfit
Incredible.
that my friend did.
I don't have. I thought I had like one of the cool things on my phone case, and this isn't the one that has my own stuff. I have a phone case that has like a sticker of my merch on it.
Nice.
Nice. Got to do it.
Adventure SMP merch when?
No, we can't
Business.
start there. We can't start there.
Business.
It's too early.
Business. Business.
Business merch.
Business.
We can't start there.
The business merch store?
But we can
The
end.
proper business?
We can end there. We can end there, you know?
Maybe down the line. Not now.
Business.
Pedal, please.
I just really want a shirt that says, "Hi, I'm new," or "I'm Pedal, I'm new."
Everybody tweet.
And always.
Hello, insert name. I'm insert name here. I'm new.
I'm new. Yeah, that's good. I think everybody
And
should.
always, our special guest.
Yes, always.
As always, the special guest. That's also a good shirt.
That's always the special guest.
And as always, the special guest. With like the special guest on like a name tag type plaque.
But yeah, also, before we end, one of the things that I was thinking of is that we still haven't found Linguini.
Oh, yeah.
That's still the one person that we haven't found yet. So I think we'll have to be keeping an eye out for a purple slime hybrid while we're out and about.
Which I do want to say was not intentional in the sense of like, I did like, you met Jane episode 1, and I think she made some sort of comment, or someone made some sort of comment about like, we don't see a lot of slime hybrids. And then I made the one person y'all didn't find another slime hybrid.
Well, it's true. They don't see a lot of slime hybrids, not if they're missing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I'm really looking forward to the next session.
I'm so excited. I'm so nervous and I'm so excited. Mostly because I have 2 people that I get on call with and just like, they're like one of those people that you just like go, okay, so I know you don't know what's happening, but I want to talk about this and I'm going to talk through this plot point with you and exactly what's going to happen. You know all the details, but don't understand a thing of it. Talk with me. I have 2 people that I do that with and I haven't been able to get on call with either of them. So I have a bunch of like notes written down and I'm like, I haven't gotten to talk through this. None of these ideas feel solid. So I'm like terrified, but nervous and excited. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me on this little summary open talk episode. And thank you listeners for listening.
Thanks, listeners.
I hope you've been enjoying. Yeah, feel free, tweet at us or anything like that if you want comments, questions, concerns, because we can also talk about that next, like after this next world, which is going to be like in a while, but like, yeah, we can, if you tweet us.
Tweet us. Hashtag Adventure SMP and just tweet business.
Or
at
Adventure SMP POD.
Oh, there you go.
Because we have an actual, you follow the actual Twitter.
I do follow the actual Twitter, yeah. I just want to make sure that...
You like actually follow the actual Twitter and you were like, hashtag.
We're good at
I want to make sure, Tay, that your life is just inundated with people sending you messages that say business.
Don't worry, they come into my Twitch chat and they'll just be like, hey, it's business time. I was live on TikTok literally like right before this, up until like 45 minutes before this, and I had a couple of the people in chat just come in and be like, let me tell you about this podcast. It's called Adventure SMP, and I was like,
business.
I'm playing Stardew.
Oh, do you have well, I can talk about this later, but do you have a stream key for TikTok?
Yeah, I do.
What? Okay, we'll talk later. But
yeah, we'll talk in a sec. Let's end the episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Our handles are Adventure SMP POD, Adventure SMP Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And then you can find us at patreon.com/Adventure SMP Podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you, listeners, for joining us, and we will see you next week. Goodbye,
bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. What were your thoughts? What did you think? I know we talked about a few things, but what did you think about everything? What do you think about Linguini? I would love to hear your feedback. You can either tweet at us at Adventure SMP POD, Adventure SMP Pod, or you can go comment on one of our Instagram posts. I'm gonna try and get better about posting on there. I just kind of forget the app exists. And then when I remember, I don't have photos, so I'm gonna try really hard to go out of my way to do that and be better at that, but we'll see how it goes. But you can also find us there, Adventure SMP Pod. Or if you would like to help support the show, you can go to patreon.com/adventuresmp podcast. And you can join us at one of our 4 tiers. You can give your feedback, that sort of thing. Right now, at the $5 tier and above, there is at least one survey. And a little bit of info about World 3. We are starting to record World 3 soon. So if you want to get in, submit some NPCs, some items, things like that. If you want a little sneak peek at what World 3 is going to look like, go ahead and hop on over there, join one of the tiers, and give your feedback. I'd also like to give a really, really, really big shout out to all of our amazing $15 patrons. Marissa, Mary, Gunn, and Laura. Thank you guys so much for your support. It means the absolute world to me. And oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. This podcast really makes me happy. And I'm so happy you guys like it too. Until next time, goodbye!